Greetings to everyone. I'm very pleased and honored to kick off this very exciting opportunity to share with you a bit about two very important people and foundational pillars of the St. Louis community who both have had tremendous impact on the celebration of Black History Month in the St. Louis community and who just so happen to be members of my family. I am referring to the great Dr. Herman Dreer and exquisite Julia Davis. What is even more unique about this special opportunity for me specifically is that I am fortunate enough to have the assistance of my beautiful wife, 3 lovely and energetic kids, father-in-law, and uncle to help and share in their intimate stories, lessons learned, and the influence these phenomenal individuals had on the local St. Louis community and beyond. Before we get into the core part of this sharing session, I would like to take a quick moment to reflect on a few observations I had as I helped my family in collecting info, talking to older family members, and the like in preparation for this project. Being a man of Omega and having family ties to Herman Dreer, I obviously knew quite a bit about Herman Dreer. But as I had the opportunity to dig deeper into the stories shared by the family, review some of his writings, recounts of his life events, his motivations and accomplishments, I gained even more admiration, respect, and love for great Grandpa Dreer. We will also highlight my Aunt Julia Davis. The perseverance, foresight, and outright strength she showed left me in awe. I don't want to steal the thunder away from the rest of the presentation, so I'll let my family members share with you and take you on a journey of reflection. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Brooke Langhorne. I am the great-granddaughter of Herman Dreer. In 1846, Missouri passed a law that made it criminal to educate blacks. The punishment was public flogging and a fine of up to $500. It's chilling to, number one, know that this was a law and a way of life for so long, but that only 42 years later, my great-grandfather was born. He went on to challenge laws and ways of thinking like this his entire life. His persistence and drive resulted in numerous degrees from numerous institutions, all with him being one of few or the only. He not only got his education, but he came back to St. Louis and created opportunities for others to learn, get degrees, obtain teaching jobs, and he celebrated our successes and history. That is what I am most in awe of. I was around a year old when he passed. My dad flew out to St. Louis from Seattle, and he took me with him to attend his memorial service. I may not have met him in the flesh while he was here on this earth, but his spirit lives deep within me. His focus on education helped my drive, and I obtained my degree in computer science at Hampton University. My family and I now live in St. Louis, and we've been here for over 3 years. I am a product of his hard work. I now can live in a community and neighborhood that once restricted blacks from buying houses here. My kids go to a great school in the Clayton School District, all flourishing and being leaders. And probably the next best thing I could have ever done besides getting my education was marry a man of Omega. I know he is smiling down on all of us for so many different reasons. I am grateful for all the steps he pioneered, all the people he lifted up, all the knowledge he obtained and shared, and I thank the Upsilon Omega chapter for providing this platform to reflect on our beloved Herman Samuel Dreer.
Hi, my name is CJ Langhorne. I am Dr. Herman Dreer's great-great-grandson. And right here in St. Louis, Dr. Herman Dreer, educator, author, civil rights activist, and my great-great-grandfather fought for equal rights. Dreer worked on the landmark civil rights Supreme Court case Shelley v. Kramer to strike down racially restrictive housing covenants. He also founded Douglas University for African Americans, was one of the first to celebrate Black history in area schools. He wrote the history book for his fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Thanks to the dedication of Dr. Herman Dreer, St. Louisans of all ages now celebrate Black History Month and learn about African American history. Dr. Herman Dreer was truly unafraid.
In 1973, my great-grandfather, Herman Dreer, wrote a biographical sketch of his life. I am the son of humble parents. My father and mother were both born free about 1868, just 3 years after the close of the Civil War. My mother went only as far as the 3rd grade, having been taught in a private school of the church, the Diamond Hill Baptist Church of Lynchburg, Virginia. My father was born free in Columbia, South Carolina. His father, though born a slave, worked at the trails of shoemaker and accumulated an estate in house and land that amounted to $300,000. The Washington Star, the largest evening newspaper in Washington, D.C., carried column and a half that told the story of the life of my paternal grandfather. My father had the advantage of some high school training. He could have had more. He became a stable foreman for the Standard Oil Company in Washington, D.C. In our family, there were 5 girls and 5 boys. 3 died in infancy. I was born in Washington, D.C. on September 9th, 1888. Accordingly, I am now 85 years of age. At the age of 11, I became a Christian. I am a product of the elementary and the high school, the M Street, now called the Dunbar. I was a captain of the Company B of the high school cadets of that high school. I graduated from high school in 1907 as the first ranking student of my class and as the winner of the teacher's scholarship of $300 by making the highest grade in a written examination supplied by Amherst College, the alma mater of the principal of the M Street High School at that time. From there, I entered Bowdoin College of Brunswick, Maine, the alma mater of Longfellow and Hawthorne. I entered in 1907 and graduated in 1910, completing the 4-year course in 3 years as the second ranking student in the class of 1910. From this college, I obtained the degree of Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude, with great praise. At the Virginia Theological Seminary and College from 1910 to the spring of 1914, I taught Latin, physics, and chemistry. In 1914 September, I came to St. Louis to teach at the Sumner High School, Latin and English. Eventually, I served for 14 years as the assistant principal of the Sumner High School under Mr. G.D. Brantley. Then I obtained a leave of absence to work on my doctorate. I hold from the University of Chicago the degree of Master of Arts in English and the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology, with a minor in Anthropology. From the Virginia Theological Seminary, I received the degree of Master of Arts in Latin. From Douglas University of St. Louis, I obtained the honorary degree of Doctor of Divinity. I am the author of the following books: The Immediate Jewel of His Soul, a novel; The Tie That Binds, a novel; American Literature by Negro Authors written at the request of the Macmillan Publishing Company of New York City; and The History of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. For 11 years, I served as the assistant pastor of the First Baptist Church under the Reverend O.C. Maxwell. For 7 years as the assistant pastor of Reverend George E. Stevens. For 20 years as the pastor of the Kingsway Baptist Church. I have been active as a member of the following organizations: the Masons, the Elks, the Knights of Pythias, and the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. I am married to Mary J. Thomas Dreer, a former elementary school teacher. I married in 1912. As a result, I have been married 61 years. I have 2 children, Clarice Hermia Davis, head of the art department at the Harris Teachers College, and Vivian Mary Dreer, head of the Department of Guidance and the City College of New York in Brooklyn. I taught sociology and anthropology for 3 years at the Kansas Wesleyan University in Salina, Kansas. 1 year, I taught English at the Illinois College in Jacksonville, Illinois, and for 1 year, English and public speaking at McMurray College in Jacksonville, Illinois. During the years of my teaching outside of St. Louis and Kansas and in Illinois, I taught at least 3,000 students. Of these, only 2 were Negroes, and they were at Kansas Wesleyan University.
My grandfather knew, though, that the best way his people could cover much of that gap created by slavery, etc., was by opening up a book and reading, or standing at the head of a classroom and teaching, or sometimes approaching and confronting the system that existed then that had formidable barriers built to keep a Black man down. So though I never played the game of catch with my grandfather, he did toss to me the past called education. That it was the key to success in life. I caught it, and I have thrown that idea to my children, who are now adults, and they in turn got the message and are doing likewise.
It's the joy of making others happy. He wants you to walk with God, and things you can make a difference with, do it. But the rest of it, don't worry about it. Focus on your objective and give the word to God. He was that kind of a inspiration for me.
My name is Cameron Langhorne. I'm the great-great-grandson of Herman Dreer. Julia Davis was my great-great-aunt. She served as an educational force in St. Louis for more than 60 years in an effort to raise public awareness of the contributions of African Americans to American culture. Davis started a series of annual exhibits at the St. Louis Public Library. She also published many notable works on African American history. On April 21st, 1974, the St. Louis Public Library broke with tradition by dedicating a branch in honor of a living person. On February 14th, 1993, the new Julia Davis branch was officially opened. As an educator, Julia Davis shined her light.
Hi, I'm Morgan, great-great-granddaughter of Herman Dreer. Thank you for celebrating our great-great-grandfather, Herman Dreer, and our great-great-aunt, Julia Davis. We are so proud of the impact they both have had on so many. Bye!
to the Langhorne family, on behalf of the Epsilon Omega Chapter Apostles, Brother Donald Gage, and the Centennial Celebration Chairman, Raymond Trice, and his leadership team, Brother Anthony Jackson and Ashley Carnegie. We present to the family this plaque in recognition of your stellar effort.
And thank you so much, Captain White, and thank you to the Upsilon Omega chapter for allowing the Dreer family to be a part of this amazing Black History celebration.
Thank you.
And we thank you.
Thank you.